Rajesh, I'm joining the call.
Conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Sorry, there was a question in between.
I said, Rajesh, I'm joining the conference call.
That's okay. Like we are recording, so I
Yeah,
guess that shouldn't be the problem.
yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. So okay. So let's start with this demo. So yeah, what I was saying was that yes, we have a lot of stuff. Sorry, is someone not on mute? Can you please mute? Okay, thanks. So basically, we are not going to just learn about Python and Selenium, but more about how we actually code, the way the best practices, and also about how to integrate everything together in the best manner. Like it could be creating frameworks, what kind of frameworks, understanding them, dealing with data, which is stored in different ways, dealing with UI elements, and also like it's free for you to actually come in, integrate your stuff. So it's more of a flexible environment, interactive environment, rather than just our training, where I'll just show everything or just talk about it and then that's it. But there will be assignments at the end of each training, each session, and at the end of the whole training, there will be another assignments, big assignments, like creating your own frameworks or creating your own engines with Python and all that stuff. So that's something which we do with the mindset that yes, you are going to be a great automation tester or a coder after learning this. Yes, you will understand how to create basic logic, how to run the automation framework or suits. So that's the whole point of this training. So yes, you are going to get a lot of it. And like what I truly believe that it's Python is just a language, right? Like any other language. But what separates it from other languages is the beauty is like it can do much more with very little of it. With very less effort, you can do much more. Okay. So yeah, let's start with me. So I have around now, I guess, 8 to 9 years of experience in the IT industry. Right now, I'm working with TELUS as a system analyst and doing training since 4 to 5 years now. So my skills are having knowledge of Python, Java, JavaScript. I've been a QA and used different tools like robot frameworks and Selenium, Jenkins. Now I have worked on AWS, Docker. So yeah, there are many skills, but today, like this training is mainly focused on uh, Python and Selenium, right? And all about like automation and the frameworks. But that's the understanding which you should get at the end of the training so that you can create your own frameworks. You can script your own scripts. So all that stuff. So what we are going to learn is important, but before that, why we are going to learn that? Why we are going to learn Python? So yes, it's easy to learn, understand, and it can do big and small tasks. But above all, there is a community of Python which is huge. Its libraries are big. You can customize them easily. You can create your own libraries, and you can also like go into the community for answering questions and all that stuff. That stuff keep happening. Like PyCon is happening for Python products. So that's like a huge deal because if you face any problem, you get solutions quickly. Even if you are doing AI, ML, so those stuff are being collated with Python for a particular reason because of its beauty to do so much with the very little understanding of that particular product or with the very little effort. So that's why I always choose Python. Java is a great language, right? Or any other language which can be done with like R or like Perl or all these things are great for the ML and all stuff. But Python has its own uniqueness. So that's something which comes up and actually help you to create lot of stuff in a very less time. So when we use Python is like website, server side, or front end side, independent or dependent scripts, small like just scripts on any server for doing a particular small stuff or a big task, anything. Yes, we can use Python everywhere. Everything has a Python right now. Like these days, whatever you are seeing, somehow it is related to Python. If it is not, people are trying to convert. So that's the beauty of Python. So any questions till now?
Hello, Nishant. Actually, your
Any
voice
questions?
is breaking whenever you're talking. So,
I'm sorry.
from my side,
Your voice is feeble,
your
Nicole.
voice is breaking.
Nicole, your
Hello?
voice is feeble. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, your voice is breaking whenever you're talking. So, can you please check it your end?
Oh, if my voice is breaking, then you can interrupt in between. Is it breaking for Nicole only, or is it breaking for everyone?
No, it's fine.
It is clear for me.
Yeah, for me also it is clear.
Okay, I guess Nicole, it's from your end because I also cannot hear your voice very clearly. So maybe you can you check your audio connection? There's some problem there.
Yeah, yeah,
So guys,
sure.
any questions?
Yeah, Nishant, I wanted to know that what will be the duration of this course?
Yeah, we will cover all this at the end. So yeah, let's start one by one. But till now, any questions with this? Ankita, we will cover this question at the end. So don't worry about that. Any other questions, guys? Okay.
No.
Seems like no other questions. Yeah, we can go ahead. So, but we will start with Python. Python, the setup for the Python, like there are different versions, right? 2.x and 3.x. So 2.x is just for you guys. I'm not sure if you guys know. 2.x support is going to be depreciated from 2020, January 2020. But still, we will learn about it because it's not like it will stop working. It will keep working, but any kind of bug fixes or any kind of support will not be provided. But yes, it will still work. But I need to tell you guys why, because we will learn about Python 2.x so that when you go into the industry, you will know this. And there are many major companies. I'm assuring you that they are using Python 2.x still, but they are trying to convert it to Python 3.x, or they will never convert it because of their own corresponding reasons. But yes, they are still using it. Even if my organization, people are still not migrating to 2.x to 3.x because it's too costly to do that, rather than they're just stuck there because they are not doing any kind of ads on in the 2.x feature. So that's something we will learn. Also, I'll add because earlier we never used to do the conversion tool setup. So we will do the setup for the conversion tool. By conversion tool, I mean 2.x to 3.x conversion can be done via tool. So that tool we will go through in this particular training, which we never did before. Then we will go to the Python basics. We will go to the inbuilt functions. We will go to the data types, like any programming language, whatever is covered, whatever features the Python provides. We will cover all that with handling files, handling data, how to read, write from the file, all that stuff. That is something we will cover in the Python training. After that, sorry, any questions?
Nishant, hi Nishant, this is Shahid here.
Hey, Shahid.
So just I wanted to know that in this training, so are you going to cover the framework or creating the framework?
Yes,
And
we will.
just and one
Yes, we
more
will.
thing I
You
want
will see further.
how like
Surely, how?
in the organization how the working, the way the company works. So are we going to learn that?
What do you mean by that, Shahid? Like, do you mean like how the requirement comes in and all that? No. But yes, how to create, like how to identify what scripts to create, what frameworks to create at what point of time, how to identify that. In terms of that, yes, we will cover those concepts in terms of how organization works.
Okay, so I meant to say that like the practical approach which we like in following
Yeah,
into
yeah,
company.
sure. Yeah, that's the practical approach. Yes, that will be covered.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, guys? Okay, I guess we can move further. So then we have automation with Python. So why we do automation with Python, right? Like we have so much the same thing. Like it's save cost. Why it save cost? Because it save time, faster to do. Then we make it compact, which is like in small packages we can do much bigger stuff that actually save memory, time, and the cost, and then management cost of that. It's simple, and like Python 3 is like fast and it's great to deal with, and then it's dynamic as well. Like it can change, you can change stuff, it you can integrate with multiple libraries, you can go around many corners to actually do that stuff. So that's something you can do with automation in Python. So that's how we will do. So in this picture you can see that we are not just integrating with Selenium WebDriver but also with Selenium Grid. So we will cover both Selenium WebDriver as well as Selenium Grid, which is going to be integrated with Python. So that's something you will understand, and you will be blown by how the automation works on different platforms and on different operating systems with different browsers. So that's something very, very much interesting to understand. So that's something you will like a lot. So till now, any questions? No questions, guys?
No, Nikhil.
Okay. Oh, sorry. This is Nishant anyways. Okay, let's go ahead. So what we are going to cover in the automation? Yes, we are going to understand how we do the setup. What does different setup mean? So all that stuff we are going to cover. Then we are going to cover with UI with Selenium, like how to handle UI. In that we will cover major of the part like CSS, XPath, IDs, and then drop downs, how different UI elements are there, how different UI elements can be interacted, how mouse operations are done, how you actually go through those scripts. So all those things with the UI you do. And then because Selenium is something which handles only and only web applications, but we will also learn how to handle the applications which are desktop based. So that's something we are going to cover. We are also going to cover about validations, how to handle the different data source, could be XLS databases. And then validations are important part because in any kind of testing, that's something which decides that test is pass or fail. And that's important in our arena because that's how you raise bugs, you raise defects. So that's something which is very, very useful. So we'll understand when to create the validations, why to create the validations, and different type of validations which you can create. Yes, then we will talk about creating frameworks and using the frameworks which is already created. Like if you talk about a robot framework, right? If you talk about different data driven, or someone said like they are using Cucumber, right? That's already there. But we will understand how to integrate them with the Python. Like Karate, that's already there. So how to integrate? So that's integration we will do uh, together, how we do that. But then creating your own frameworks, different kind of frameworks we will create. So that's something we will cover in the automation perspective. So any questions till now?
You have mentioned in the last line, in the last slide, use already created frameworks.
That's correct.
So the coverage, I mean, you are covering already creating the framework as well. So what difference would there be in between these 2 points, creating framework and using already created frameworks? Is
Okay.
there a difference between the complexity or how would it differ?
So the, like as I mentioned before, creating your own framework is by like creating any of your data driven or keyword driven framework or hybrid or whatever different type of framework you are creating based on your application. But then there are certain frameworks which are already there in the market. As I said, there is a framework which is robot framework or which is Karate or Cucumber. So these are frameworks in themselves, right? So they have their own approach, own strategies to actually run the automation. Like you just type some keywords and your setup is done. But then how you integrate it with Python is something you have to understand, right? Like sometimes you are using robot framework, right? But that keyword, let's say you want to run a script using robot framework. Robot framework is already created, but you want to run a Python script in that particular framework. So how to integrate with Python is something we will understand. So that is the whole difference. But whereas creating framework, we are creating everything from the scratch. But already created frameworks already have 80 to 90% of the framework created, but you are integrated with Python to fill up the rest of the 20% of your stuff. So that's the whole difference. Hope I answer your question.
Yeah, how detailed would that be? Actually, I had earlier attended one. I have not from Refer Me, but I had attended one couple of sessions of one class for Selenium with Java, and they actually did not cover these things, Cucumber, etc., Robot. They did not cover much into detail. They just gave 1 day or two with it. Just gave a demo of how the program is to be created. But since it was not much into detail, so understanding was also like that only. So how detailed would that be in your sessions?
So you're
I
talking
mean,
about already created frameworks.
yeah. Uh, because like I mean these are complex frameworks, and they require actually good amount of time for you to give, and you cannot get it in 1 or 2 days. So how much detail would that be covered in your sessions?
So focus for this training, as you already mentioned, is on Python and automation. So more focus will be on creating your own frameworks with the or from the scratch. And if we talk about other frameworks, we will learn about how to integrate with Python and how those works. But yes, 100% of robot framework or Cucumber will not be given. If you want to go into detail and learn all about that, that of course needs a separate training. It's not something which you can integrate here. So that's pretty much clear from here. But yes, we will spend how these are connected with Python, how we run Python scripts or Selenium scripts from, let's say, robot framework or Cucumber. But yes, we will not cover everything. Like robot framework have its own keywords, like how it can be connected to remote servers and all that stuff. Like it's a huge concept. Robot framework is a huge in itself. So yeah, that will not be created here. But yes, as I said, the point says using already created frameworks. That means using robot framework or using the Python and Selenium in that particular step is being covered here. Hope that answers your question.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions, guys?
No.
Okay. No other questions? Come on, guys. Have some doubts. It's good. It's good to have doubts. Okay. Let's go ahead anyways. So this picture displays a Python Java with Selenium WebDriver and Selenium Grid. Like we are not going to learn Java here, that's for sure. But we are going to script Python scripts using the Java basically OOPS concept, which is basically inheritance, encapsulation. So we will create those scripts with Python, which will have all those Java features. So I'll teach you how you can integrate those features, how you can implement those features in Python script. Like Python is like a free flow, right? But you can modify it. Its beauty is it's dynamic, right? You can modify it as you want. So you can have those features embedded in the Java, sorry, embedded in the Python with a great understanding of OOPS concept, and then you can actually run them there. So that's something which will actually show you how you can have those OOPS feature implemented in Python, and then you actually have all the advantages of those features do your automation. So that's something is tremendous, I guess, and that's something which we are going to do. So We will have, as I said, OOPS concept. We will have the basic of UI features which can be implemented with Python. We will work with the different data sources of Python. We will develop a particular website in our assignments and projects, and then we will extend Python. By extending Python, I mean we will have understand about different libraries, much of the libraries which are basically used with Python, like let it be any MySQL library, any other database library, or library for using the data sources like XLS or something. Then libraries which are used for logs or configurations or any other stuff. Or you can also tell me like this is the library I want to know about, and let's implement that library. And then this is not just about having those libraries or importing those libraries, but also writing your own library of your own. So that's a great concept. So we will have the assignments and projects to write your own libraries. So that's going to be a tremendous effort from our side to actually implement those libraries. I'm not sure if you guys have if you have implemented any data structure or collection or any other library by yourself. So that's something which actually helps you a lot in doing the programming or improve your knowledge about that. So that's something we will do, and this will enhance all the programming skills of yours, because we start with basics and then yes we go to advanced. So that's something we will just go one by one. So yeah, so that's pretty much we will cover for now in the session. And any questions till now, guys?
No, Nishant.
So I guess Ankita had a question. Ankita, this will take around 25 to 30 hours of the training. This will be, and it basically can be increased if you guys are more interactive. And I'm happy to have an interactive session with you guys. Like you have more questions, you have more doubts, you want to implement more stuff, you make it more interesting. Yeah, I'll make it more interesting from my end, and I expect same from you. So if we are doing that, it might get increased up to 30 to 35 hours, but usually what I have preferred till now is 30 hours. And that actually helps a lot, including assignments and everything which you do from your home as well, like when you are offline. So those assignments are done. So if these things are happening, yes, it's great to do within the 30 hours.
Yeah.
Nishan,
Okay, Nishant. Thank you.
Nishan, one question, like for this, what kind of setup and prerequisite is required at a laptop to get started?
I'm sorry.
One moment. Suppose I have to get the programs and the assignments get running on my laptop. So what is prerequisite when will you needing on the laptop to get executed the Python
Yes,
programs?
that stuff will be covered in the training. I'll tell you what kind of setup you require. We will understand like what kind of operating system you have. Then like different people have different kind of operating system. So we will go through that setup. If anyone have any problem, I'll share the document with you guys. And still you have problem, we will do a screen sharing, and we will like solve those problems. So yeah, that's something will be covered in the training itself. So don't worry
That's
about that. So we are
great.
starting from scratch. So don't worry about
Yeah.
that at all.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, more questions, please.
Nishant, you're taking with the weekend classes, or how is you taking this
Yeah, this is
section?
weekend
So
program.
you're taking with the weekend days or weekdays? Yep, weekend program.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So like it is only 1 hour or what?
No,
Okay.
no, sorry.
So how much?
So this
No,
is
I'm saying about
like
the weekdays. It will
there is going
weekends.
to be
It
a
will take only
batch.
1 hour.
There is going to be a batch of
Okay.
like whoever people are interested. There will be a batch of that. But if there is a problem which is like specific to you, let's say, and rest 10 people or rest 2 people. So if there is like last batch was around 4-5 people.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
last batch is of around 4-5 people, and like if like 3 or 4 already have a same kind of problem or questions, then we do it together. But the training happens like of course with all the 4 or 5 people, and if they have questions in between, like we are interacting right now in the session, right? In this demo. So we
Mhm.
interact,
Mhm.
and that actually helps, because if you have some questions, and that actually enlighten other guys as well, so that they also understand something more. And if there is a problem, let's say uh, Radhesham just said that he has a setup problem, right? And other don't. So I'll not bother you guys, and I'll just do a screen sharing or send a document or talk with him just for 5 minutes, quick 5 to 10 minutes, solve his problem. That's it. But if there is something we are doing training on, let's say I schedule a time for 1 hour, and for 1 hour we do a training, so everyone is there. But then let's say in the evening you try something, you have a question, you reply me on the group chat, okay, this is the problem, so I can talk to you there. So that's something we can do one to one, or if screen sharing is required, or you can send me a snapshot of your problem. So all that things we can do there one to one on the group. But yeah, that's how it works.
Okay. So meanwhile, you're taking for weekends, right?
Yeah, this is a weekend class.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you for the clearing.
But yeah,
What
you can have all the replies and like throughout the week. But
what is
sorry, Kancha, you were saying something. Sorry.
I was asking what is the fees for this course?
So I guess Savita and Nitesh will tell you the fee after I'm done. But
Okay.
yeah, that's something they will talk about, because I'm the trainer and they usually take care of that part. But sorry, Ismail, as I was saying to you, like, but as I'm in like different time zone, I guess everyone here is from India, right? IST time zone. Is there anyone in different time zone?
No, India only, I guess. But not sure about others.
Okay, I guess everyone is from India. They're
Yeah,
staying in India right now.
right.
Okay. Yeah. So if everyone is from India time zone and I'm in like Pacific time zone, so it might be there might be a delay for few, because but it is good. Like if you are doing in daytime, I am free at evening, so I can reply back quickly, and vice versa. And on weekends we are I'm already there, so yeah, you can expect you cannot expect like instant replies from anyone, like I'm away from a phone or something. But yes, I'll try to reach out to you guys as soon as possible. But I am always there to solve your problems during the training time, or uh, after or before that timing, so that actually will solve the problems. But yes, the key to the training is to do your assignments, to actually focus on that. We can also go to Hacker Rank or Hacker Earth and learn about those problems. I'll help you to solve those problems as well. So it depends how you guys want to interact and how efforts you put in, and that actually increase the level of knowledge and training as well. So I'll really appreciate if you guys increase that much better from my last training. So that's what I really expect. So I guess any more questions? So let me go one by one and see. Sorry, someone, Shahid, do you have any questions?
Yeah, Nishan, just wanted to know that, like, is there any certification available for this Python or Selenium combination?
So Python is open source. So
Hmm.
Python is open source, so there is nothing like a certification for Python, but like that's a scripting language, right? Like it's not something. It has a lot of community and everything, so it's there's nothing like a proper certification which actually tells you about that. So do you get my
Okay.
answer here? Yeah, but it's like Java has some kind of certification, but like even if like there is not much value of those certifications, like stamp it. But if it's like you must have more knowledge. Like personally, I'm not a certification lover guy, but if you want to do it, you can look up there. But I when I looked up, I didn't find it. But if you like, I don't know if some other countries do that or something, but I don't think they do that. That's what I believe. But if you
Okay.
have those programming skills and everything, that actually like covers up all the certifications. Like you can easily do the certification for any technology. I know that Python doesn't have it, but for any other technology, if you have that knowledge, so that's what I believe. So it could be different for you, but yeah, that's what I believe.
Okay.
Nishant, like, one more question apart from this. Like, I do into the test management. I'm into the like kind of managing projects, and I got appointed till today. Like, I'm into more kind of manual and project execution and project management. So like, I want to convert from myself from manual to automation. So like, this is one of the platform which you said like Selenium and Python. Apart from that, what else you think to get started and learn quickly and get onto the automation? That will have a bigger opportunities in the industry as well, and that will keep us catering for long term in industry according to your
So,
experience.
well, let me be very frank. So I started with Java plus Selenium. When I started automation, maybe like 7.5 years back, when I started automation, so I started with Selenium and Python. Sorry, Selenium and Java. So when I started with Java, yes, it worked well. It was boom in the industry and all that stuff. But then things got little complicated because it was a lot of effort to manage that stuff and script that stuff. But then it came with Python and everything, so it became easier. So I learned that after 6 to 8 months to actually survive in the industry. There was a lot of boom there, but then Python became a language which was being integrated with anything, like could be any scripting, could be any ML, or could be anything. So don't think like I'm just like exaggerating is just because we are doing this training, but that's from the experience I'm telling you. Because I have started doing the AI with Python, and then every tool, like 95 of the percent of the tools support Python scripting. Like if you go with any tool like Jenkins, let it be Jenkins, let it be AWS, let it be Docker, let it be anything, right? It and everything which has those containers, everything they are supporting the this particular stuff. So yeah, great to have that particular language. And Selenium is something for the web automation. And I started with manual and DevOps operations, and then got into automation. That actually changed career from the like financial, as well as from the way, like it was easier to find jobs. It was easier to switch around if any problems happen, or it was easier to survive in that particular industry. So even in the same organization, I survived for like I'm here since 3 to 4 years. So because I can understand stuff easily and go through that, solve the problem fast. It's easier to manage stuff. So that's something has helped a lot. And with Selenium, it's going to be great because we it allows to have like web automation, but then it is integrated with everything like robot framework, Cucumber, like everything use Selenium and their XPath and all that for a web automation. Pick any tool which you does the UI automation, web automation. It has those Selenium features, like could be mouse controls or everything. And Selenium, you are doing it from scratch. If you do it from scratch, you can do it from any tool. You just have to learn those keywords or learn those syntax. So I have done with robot framework. Robot framework I do every day. Karate I have done. So that's something you can implement because I never learned them. Once you do something from basics, from the scratch, you don't have to go one step ahead and learn something there. You because you already know that stuff, because you are already familiar with how those problem works. If you get any exception or problems, because those are Selenium problems which are being shown by a robot framework or Cucumber or anything. But that's something the which is the beauty of it. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Thank you for the great inputs.
Yeah, no worries. So any other questions, guys?
Like as we move on, so like programming logic and that how we can brush up that very well. That is
Yeah,
one
we
of the
will go
question
through
which.
the Python basics, and I'll give you the assignments, and then we will go through HackerRank or those websites which are developed for that. We will solve those problems as well. So that's something we will keep continuing.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions?
Nishant, how would this be means like real time? Because actually earlier I had done an automation course from Java, but the thing happened that like we were learning very basic thing, and when I got to see that into industry, the things were very different because it was very basic which we learned from the automation
Okay.
classes which I had done. And when I went
Well,
out for the interviews, it was very tough for us to gain. Means like each and every industry has their own thing. So how we could cope up with that, like real time things? Because learning automation means we just get to learn, yeah, these are the things, these are the things, and these are the things. But when we go into real time and when we go into real like industry wise, the interview thing and those things which happen, would you be helping us with those all those things?
okay. So I get this question a lot before training in the demos, but I never get this after the training. So I guess I'm doing good job here. But like I don't know from where you did the course, or that's something a different perspective here. But the only point here is give me an example. What happened? Like basics are good, right? You need to know basics before going to the advanced stuff. But then I'm saying like like let me tell you one example before you give me the example. Like I after 6 years or 6 months of automation, what happened was I went for an interview and someone asked me to create the framework from scratch, and I said no, I cannot create it. That was the level of like in 2013 level of my automation skills. I was never able to create the automation framework. But then I started, okay, I thought like I don't know anything because I just knew basics. That's I guess is the story, maybe a different story, but like story like you what you are saying. The problem here is like you know the basics but you don't know how to implement those basics to actually create a beautiful product or those advanced level features, how you implement that. So that's something, yes, we will go through. We will, as I already said, we'll create frameworks, but it's not just a framework, right? It need to have all that stuff which actually have the basics, basic scripting, basic logic, but then also multiple libraries, kind of advanced feature. Then those UI you are implementing kind of advanced features there as well. So that's something basic, advanced, basic, all being together, and then very simple stuff. Well, what I believe is like those people which we call as advanced features, they are more easy to understand, but they are just like hype because you don't know the basics, you don't know how to implement with via those basics. That's why you call them the advanced features or like a complex features. But that they are more easy to learn. That's what I believe. But then, yeah, sure. Now it's your turn. Like, what kind of problem did you face? What happened there?
When I did the course, we went up till means I had done with Java. Then we learned Maven, and but we knew those things. But when I went into industry, like they were asking like how you could do this, means you create a framework from scratch. Then what are the things? How will you set
Yeah.
up
So
those
basically,
things?
you never
Yeah.
implemented that by yourself. So practically, it wasn't done.
Yeah.
So that is not
Because we
fair.
just got to learn, like we were going and we were getting those examples you said, no, we will learn drag and drop downs,
Yeah. So we will
finding
do it. We will
all those
not. I'll show
things.
you, and you will practice it. It's like
These were the
a,
basic things.
yeah.
But
Programming is
uh,
like a mathematics.
to to get down into a framework, it's very difficult because I see that almost some other videos also had seen how they create the framework, like
Yeah, yeah,
it's
don't worry. I'll
that
make it
also if you would be helping us, then that would be much better for us to like when we go into for interviews thing, we know what is going on in their industry, like this would be the things we might face it.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll make it easy for you. So that's something you will understand, implement by your own. So don't worry about that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions, guys?
No from my side.
Okay, so Akanksha, Amrit, Ankita, Francis, Sahid, Pavan, Radhesham, any question, guys?
So
No,
for good.
no,
Okay,
not from
No.
my
and
side.
okay, thank you. So, what you have liked in today's demo?
Nishant is very interactive and he tries to help other guys. Uh, with their queries so that they will be able to do their on job training well if they got kind of automation mark. So from that direction it thinks how a guy
Mhm.
can be actually able to deliver automation scripts during a job.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, I mean, I'm not saying this because I am associated with Nissan, but the thing is, he is very excellent in sense of the delivery, in sense of handle the query, and in sense of approach what he is having. So, I mean, he has very excellent knowledge what he teach, and he has very excellent grab on the topics what he teaches. So thank you so much for your input, Radhesham. And so, guys, let's come to a conclusion on this. And what about you, Akanksha, Amrit, Ankita, Francis, Sahid, Pavan? What you like for this demo?
This is Ankita. I think he has been frank enough to tell that we cannot learn everything in the first training itself. We have to have a work experience, and as we work, we learn more.
Okay, okay,
And
okay.
yeah, Amrit here. So I wanted to add on the point that somebody was talking that during the interview, a lot of new questions. So I faced that. The problem is, what happens is, yeah, definitely creating the framework point of view is difficult. But everything, if you try to get into, in your mind that on the first day, I should be able to understand everything. It does not happen. It takes a time.
Mhm.
You have to build it. Okay, what is a base class? How, why are you creating a base class? First you have to understand what is the approach, why are we doing it, why are we using a particular framework, so that builds up a understanding with which you can confidently answer something in the interview. So that is what I learned. And yeah, from this training it gave me a perspective that um, currently I'm working on Selenium with C sharp. I'm not
Mhm.
very advanced on it. I'm using a existing framework, but what I try to do is I try to keep debugging the code every time. The framework is created by Microsoft,
Mhm.
so I try to keep debugging the framework every time when I get a chance. So what that helps me is to understand if a particular line of code is written, it helps me to understand why it is written that way, what techniques are they using, and I keep poking the developer that, oh, okay, somebody has written a code in this way. What is the purpose of writing in that particular way? Why was it not written in some other way? So these kind of questions, because interviewer will not directly ask you how to find the X path of this thing, because everybody knows that.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely, absolutely. You are
yeah,
absolutely
thanks
right,
for
Amrit.
this.
And these questions can be handled uh, by the professional who has really working experience. Nowadays, what is happening that let me tell you frankly that people just get interview call for like for a Selenium. They start learning from internet, and they just update the resume and go for interview, and they reject it, and they say it is very tough to learn. But actual scenario is absolutely different, right? If you have
Yes,
a
and I'm
working.
also uh, one more thing is, correctly, to build on your point, I'm also the POC for D365 testing. So I do get a lot of fake resumes, and I need to filter them out. I'm the first point of filtering. So I do have to create some basic questions from my mind, from my learn experience, that only those person who have actually worked on the product will be able to answer. So when you face these kind of questions, you should know that until you have a proper experience on it, you can never clear those.
Absolutely, absolutely. Very true,
Yeah,
very
thank you.
true. At a first glance, thank you, Amrit. So, at a first glance, you could understand that how much genuine the person is, right? So that's a very important. And believe me, till the date in my career, I have taken thousands, more than thousand interviews, and in a first glance, I just identify or can smell that the person is genuine or not. So that's very important.
Exactly. And if the interviewer gets the impression that you are not genuine, it becomes very difficult to change his impression.
Absolutely, absolutely. So thank you, Amrit. Now coming to a part, anyone else would like to share something? Okay, so coming to a part like we for this workshop, right? So Savita, you want to cover the fees and everything? Savita, are you there?
Hello. Hi. Yes, I'm here. I'm sorry for the delay. There's some
No
network
problem,
issue.
no problem.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Hope you got your answers. And yes, when you'll start the training, then absolutely will you'll learn the Python and all, and that will be help you out in your future jobs and your future opportunities. So it will cost you like 11,000. The training fees will be 11,000, but yes, like if someone is going register by today, so they'll get a discount of 1,000 rupees. And and there's one more thing, like if you guys refer someone to the training, like if somebody is helping out their friends, like if they want to learn Python and all, Python and Selenium, and they'll add them into the training, then they'll get 2,000 rupees off on the fee. Yeah.
So guys, there are three discounts we have kept. Thank you, Savita. That's one is early bird. If you are registering today, I mean, I'm not saying the complete fees, any of the amount. So 1,000 rupees is discount for a early bird, and one-time payment if you are doing, then 1,000 rupees further discount. If you are referring someone, so 2,000 rupees discount. So total 4,000 rupees discount we are offering for this batch. The total fees is 11,000 rupees, right? And it is approximately 2 months of session, right? And where we will cover the resume build up, interview preparation, and after the workshop, you will get experience of 6 months to 1 year, right? Which you can add up in your resume. We will share the videos for each and every session. We are having tutorials, live projects, and the classes will be on the weekend, right? Saturday, Sunday. Since Nishant is in Canada, so we prefer at the evening time. The workshop, the timing will be right. Any more question on this?
And on daily basis, how much is the hours duration which we are planning for the weekend?
So Nishant is the right person to comment on this.
So there will be a training of 1.5 approximately every day. So basically in one weekend, like Saturday and Sunday. So there will be around 3 hours of training there. So every month, if like you have 4 weekends, sometimes it's five, but yeah, 4 weekends. So 4 into 3, 12 hours. So in 2 months, we cover around 25 hours. So if there are there is one extra weekend, so then we cover 3 more hours there. So yes, as Nitesh said, it's around 2 months training. Hope that answers your question.
Okay. Yeah, but like sometimes that happens like due to some unavoidable situation, we are not able to go for that, and we have to go attend some other unavoidable scenario, unavoidable functions or programs or something, office works. So in that time duration, if someone is not able to attend, how will we attend that?
So that's a very good question, Radhesam, and I was about to say on this question. So fantastic that you have raised it. So in that situation, one thing that we share the video, whatever the training has been done. Second, if in case if you are not attending, and with the consent of each and every member in the WhatsApp group that we will create, that we shift the timing, right? If the majority of the people are not able to attend the set timing, so we shift the timing. One thing. Second thing is that in case if we are not shifting, so whatever has been left, that will be covered by Nishant in the next workshop,
Okay.
right? So
Yeah.
just I am asking this upfront question. You guys are open. Again, I am saying it is your money, so invest it wisely, right? Whether you learn it from Refer Me Group or from any other institute, it is your choice, right? A very upfront question, whether you want to continue with the workshop or if you do not want to continue. I will welcome both the answers. No worries if you are not joining, but you will be in touch with Refer Me group. And so, Akanksha, you want to continue with the workshop?
I'm not sure about it, whether I'll continue or not. But yes, I can get in touch with you separately and
Okay,
work out for if there are some weekday sessions as well.
okay, not a problem. Ankita, Ankita, can you hear me?
Yes, sorry, I was muted.
No problem.
I'll also disclose it soon. I'll think and I'll tell.
Okay, okay, not a problem.
Okay. Yeah.
Francis?
Yeah, I'll let you know about it.
Okay. Guys, just one thing. In case if you are not registering today, so early bird will be not given, right? So please keep this in your mind. Pawan,
Yeah, hi. Yeah, I mean, so far so good. Looks good. I mean, I'm very much interested. Want to join? Just want to take a few hours, probably 1 or 2 hours, and I hope that there would be some kind of dedicated number where I can talk to you or someone to whom I can talk regarding few questions apart
sure,
from yeah, this particular
sure.
session.
So Pawan, I guess you are in the same WhatsApp group, right?
I am.
Okay. So can you just okay, you are from Delhi. Yeah, yeah. So either you can ping to Savita or you can ping to me. We will connect separately.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay. Radhesham, what about you?
Yeah, like I don't understand what like currently what's happening, the kind of projects and delivery which I'm dealing with. So like sometimes I have to work on weekends as well, and that the finding 3.5 hours time every weekend. I'm not sure on that time I will be able to get that immediately. So let me
Mm-hmm.
finish off the current deliveries which I'm having, because sometimes I have to stay till late night, like 1 p.m., 12. So timing is not fixed in my case in weekdays as well as on weekends, because like multiple release I am taking care of, 3 to 4 deliveries are happening. So let me see, as soon as I will be able to finish off with all this kind of work, probably like within a month or two, this all will be resolved and the code will be in smooth condition. So like after that, I wish to join this particular kind of program. It's a very interesting learning. I don't want to miss for sure. I wanted to be with this group and with this kind of session, which Nishant will
Okay.
be delivering. Yeah.
Not a problem. I
Current
guess you are same
scenario.
what's on a same WhatsApp group, right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm already there. Yeah,
Okay. So can you please just ping that so that I get your number?
yeah, definitely. I will ping in that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. So guys, any more question left? Okay. Shahid, what about you?
So just I wanted to know that when this class is going to start
Okay. From the next week we will start.
from the next week.
Yeah.
Okay, so is there another batch? So after that,
The next batch will be in uh, somewhere mid of February or in a March.
okay. So just give us so that I can let you know in the group.
Sure. Sure. Not a problem. So any more question, guys?
As of now, no, and
Okay.
really, really, thank you very much for finding time from the busy schedule. You all guys are doing a wonderful job to get people uplifted to their next career and next skill set. So really appreciate that. Thank you
Thank you
very
so
much.
much, Radhesham. Thank you. The difference in Reform Group and other traditional training institute that they call for the people and do the demo and do the workshop. But here we really do not want that people should stuck with and confused with the technology, and that is the reason on time to time basis at least we do 3 to 4 webinar in a month, right? So people can resolve their queries. It is not that people are confused what they want to do, but people are confused with the technologies nowadays, where to go. Like frankly speaking, if I have 6 or 7 years of experience in my vicinity or in my circumference, I see some people have switched their job and got 40%, 50% hike. What the difference different he has done. Suddenly I get another news that this technology is booming and I should switch in that. So in that situation I just confuse that in which technology I should go for. And usually in any training institute they just run their tools and technology. They do not give you such kind of awareness. So we in Refer Me Group try to do awareness about conducting the workshop so people can get some concrete decision and they can go further in their career, right? So
Yeah.
Pankaj, you have just joined. You have missed the demo. Pankaj, can you hear me?
Yeah, hi.
So you have just missed the demo. You are in the same WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
Okay, so please do one thing, just ping in the same WhatsApp group. I will share this demo video with you.
Okay.
Okay, and then we can
Okay.
connect separately.
Okay.
Okay, so I would first thanks to Nishan that he has taken time for mentoring us in Selenium with Python and how the industry is moving. And thanks to you for this wonderful session. And thank you, Akanksha. Thank you, Ankita. Thank you, Francis. Thank you, Pawan. Thank you, Radhesham, for joining this session and have a great and wonderful Sunday. I will request to each one of you, please share just your thought about this demo, how it was. Just share your feedback. It is just 30 seconds thought. Just share your feedback in the same WhatsApp group.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Thank you
That's
so
true.
much.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Savita, for arranging in a very smooth way.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Yeah. Hello.
Do you have any question?
Yeah. So like I want to tell like I have associated with the Refer Me group for a long time. Ankit
Mm-hmm.
Singhal, me. So it's been a quite a long journey with Refer Me group. So it really feels exciting. Our group mates are doing wonderful job in such an area. So it's
Mm-hmm.
really awesome to see we are growing. Yeah, it's good.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, good job.
Any
Really
yeah,
appreciate. Yeah,
thank you so much, Radhesham. So if we can connect separately, if you have something more to share.
definitely. May I know your name, please? Because
My
I was
name
not able to do that.
my name is Nitesh.
Nitesh. Okay, and your number, please, Nitesh, if you don't mind.
I have pinged you on WhatsApp.
Okay, sure. I will. I will get in touch with you. Yeah,
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you,
yeah.
guys, and
Thank you.
have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye bye.
Yeah, you too. You too have a beautiful day. Take care. See you.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Thank you.